Hey, welcome to Three Darr Ranch. This is our first video up here. We've actually started to come up and worked on our project for a few weeks. Unfortunately, in the middle of that, most of the family came down with COVID. So we got through that fine, but it just made it so we didn't feel like making videos while we're trying to do a minimum amount of work. So we bought this little place in central Utah mostly to get out of the heat in Las Vegas in the summer because it's crazy hot. It's 115 degrees in Las Vegas. It'll be about 90 degrees or so up here. So I'm up here this weekend kind of making a final push before we start putting things back together. I thought I would take some time to do a little interior walkthrough with you guys. And tomorrow, when the sun comes up, we'll go through the outside and check it all out. So I kind of wanted to show you what's going on. We're in the living room obviously right now. We have a nice wood-burning fireplace. If you can hear the fan, it's got the fans. Most everything in this room is stripped out. The kitchen, kind of coming in here into the kitchen. The flooring is stripped out. I'm kind of waiting on the cabinets until the last minute. We have all the replacement cabinets, but I don't want to put those in obviously until we paint and do all of that. So you can see the cabinets, pretty normal stuff. This house was built in 1955. So it's almost 70 years old. If I'm doing the math right, yeah, almost 70 years old, 66 years old. I think a lot of the stuff in here is 66 years old. The carpet is pretty old, kind of stinky. So we're dealing with all of that, but that's the way it goes. So strip the kitchen out last once we're ready to paint and put cabinets back in. We've got in here a really nice size laundry room. It's, I don't know, probably 8 by 10 or 11, something like that. And then we've got a nice, it's small, but we have a nice, lights don't really work in here. We have a nice pantry. It is, I think about 5 by 10 or 11. So that will be really nice. We get that all shoveled out and stuff. We can have plenty of food storage in there, plenty of stuff. We have room actually up here. We're gonna be able to put a vertical freezer right here next to the washer and dryer. So I have a fridge and freezer maybe in here, along with a fridge in the kitchen. Stairway down to the basement. Main bathroom, small, of course, with the pink tub. Can't get away without a pink tub. Super happy to have that. Hopefully we were able to keep it and make it work, but we've got to tear. There's 2 cabinets in here, not much room. We're gonna tear one of them out, make the other one a little more useful. What will be the spare bedroom here, the blue room. This room is stripped for the most part. We're gonna drywall a little bit in here, do flooring and do the ceiling. These exterior walls are block right here. And what they did to try to insulate a little bit is they put like a 3/4 inch fiber board on this, and then they covered it with the standard wood paneling. I'm gonna just drywall that. I'm gonna drywall right over the top of that, call it good. I think it'll be fine. And then for the ceiling, if you can see, these ceiling panels are questionable. It is very possible that they have asbestos in them. Given the time frame, it's about a 50-50 chance. What I'm gonna do, we can send them off to a lab and have them tested, and then if they come back with asbestos in them, then we've got to come in and do all the remediation, make sure everything's done right, make sure it's tight. But what I'm gonna do, these currently have at least a few coats of paint on them. They're sealed in place. They're actually in really good shape. There's only 1 or 2 spots where there was ever a roof leak where they're like coming down a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I got a bunch of tongue and groove material, and I'm gonna probably put a final coat of like a Kills product on this, and then I'm just gonna tongue and groove it right over the top, and we're gonna seal it right in place. So That way we don't have to mess with it, and I don't care if it's got asbestos in it. It'll be sealed. It won't be, it's safe so long as you don't disturb it. So we should be fine. It'll be all right. So all the rooms, we're going to drywall all the exterior walls that have the paneling on them. Obviously fix the drywall in the rest of the room. Tongue and groove up top, wood floor, and then new baseboards and casing and stuff like that, as well as paint. So little storage right here in the hall room, you know, a little pantry, little linen storage. Here in the master, this is going to be the master. Got most of the flooring out in here. A little bit of work left to do in here tomorrow. Get the shelving out of here, get the crown molding out. And then we're going to drywall this wall and drywall this wall. So that's going to beautify that a little bit, get rid of the moldings in here and stuff, the wood paneling. We're actually, sounds kind of weird, but I'll show you in a minute. The shower in this other bathroom behind us here is tiny. I mean, barely big enough for me to get in. So it's a little bit of a trade-off, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this closet and just eliminate it. So I'm gonna wall this off. We're gonna remove these interior walls here for the closet, and that's gonna allow us to expand this bathroom on the other side and make it much more usable. And then what we'll do is we're gonna put a separate wardrobe just here in the corner. We don't need a lot of space. We're not up here a tremendous amount, and we have a ton of storage like in the basement. So, you know, when it's summer, we can keep our summer clothes up here. And then when it's winter, we can move everything down and bring winter clothes back up. We'll have plenty of space. So now you'll see in this bathroom what I'm talking about with small. It has a small pedestal sink and then a shower right here that is probably not more than maybe 28 inches, 30 inches square. I haven't measured it, but it's really small. So what we're gonna do, it's tough to see, I know, but we're gonna take out this wall and this wall. This is all that closet in the bathroom. So we'll blow, this whole corner is gonna be opened up. That'll allow us to have a somewhat normal size shower. And then we might move this door around and we might move the toilet so that it kind of flows better in here and isn't so cramped. Because right now it's tough. It's tough to even get to the toilet because the toilet is, you know, behind the door. So finally, will be the kids' room. So I turn the light on here. Kids' room, same stuff. I have a little bit of work left to strip out the baseboard and a tiny bit of carpet, the tack strip, and then gonna drywall these walls, these two exterior walls, and then we're gonna be ready to go. So right now, actually I'll take you down into the basement. Right now it's the weekend before Thanksgiving. My goal is to get by the end of next weekend, this weekend, I'll have all the rooms completely stripped. I might get some of the drywall work done. And then Thanksgiving weekend, we'll be back up here for the long weekend. I'll have a little help. It won't just be me. And my goal is to have all three of the bedrooms completely done by the end of next weekend, or at least 95% done. That way we can come back up the final few weeks before Christmas and do the kitchen, do the living room. And again, if we have those two items 95% done, then we can spend Christmas here, which I think will be amazing. Maybe we will get lucky and have a white Christmas. That would be really cool. It's definitely starting to get cold enough here. It's down around 15 at night. So it's there, like it's ready. In the basement, you'll see, again, some extremely old carpet. We have an odd deal here of the furnace is kind of out in the middle of the room a little bit. We can move it a little, but we can't move it very much. You'll see the main water lines coming in right here, below frost line. This is the only emergency egress, so we're gonna have to take care of that. It's not big enough. We'll deal with that. And then all the water piping the original water piping is galvanized. Some of the stuff, there's a few pieces that have been replaced with copper, and then there's a few pieces that have been replaced with this PEX. I'm not a fan of this PEX. I love PEX, but I don't like crimp rings. So crimp rings are bad, PEX is good. We'll be switching all this stuff over to, the plan is, at the very minimum, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip all the water piping out and replace it all with PEX. And then pipe it also for a recirc pump. So we'll have a full recirc system on the hot side back to the water heater. That way we'll get nearly instantaneous water at all of the locations, all the bathrooms and stuff. So that's something I hate. I think it's very wasteful, running hot water while you're just waiting for it to get hot. So that really bothers me. Our house in Las Vegas is the same way. We have a recirc system on that, and it's fantastic. The possible future would possibly include removing this furnace. It's a gas furnace. It's actually fairly new. It's in great shape, works pretty good considering the amount of insulation in the house. I'm really considering taking out this furnace, changing to a boiler with a storage tank to provide us with our hot water, as well as run, because we have access to all of the floor. You know, this area's got, again, it's just got a panel. These panels are not asbestos, they're fairly new. But we have access to the floor system from the underside throughout the whole house. So what I'd love to do eventually is, again, remove the gas furnace, put in a boiler, put in a storage tank and recirc system, and then run radiant heat through the floor of all the rooms. Kind of my goal, I think, is to make this house as energy efficient as possible. Again, that's really hard with a 64-year-old house, but we can do the best we can. So this is kind of the main room. It's not real big. It's, I think it's 16 by 16 or 16 by 18, something like that here in the basement. There's a door here that just goes into the crawl space under the back half of the house. And then when you come in here, this room is going to be the craft room. Obviously needs tremendous amount of work, but one of the things I want to do is I want to strip all the paneling off of the basement walls and then hit them with a water block. So out here as well, this wall right out here, I want to strip that paneling off and then hit all of the exterior walls with water blocks. So we make sure, try to keep down on the water intrusions. There's been a small leak over here. They left the hose bib on and managed to flood it a little bit. So the idea is we're going to have, this room is going to be the craft room. We'll do sewing and all of that stuff will be done in here. In this room, last little room, is the water heater, standard, 40-gallon gas water heater. Plenty big enough for this, but again, if we go to a radiant system, this will get replaced. And then a really nice food storage, pantry storage. This room is, I think, about 6 feet by 12 or 11 feet, something like that. Obviously, you're gonna paint all this, water block the exterior walls, and then paint everything white, just brighten it up, put some better lighting in here, make it not so dark and dingy. But right now we got a little bit of food storage in here, plus some other stuff. So that's kind of where we're at. You don't really care about the crawl space, it's just a crawl space. We all know what those look like. So that's the plan. That's where we're at. What we're gonna do, we're gonna place all this carpet in here with the same flooring as upstairs, paint everything. I want to figure out, obviously I want to get rid of these ducts. I want to try to move them up into the floor system as much as possible. And then I want to have something up here that I can remove. So I have access to all of our mechanical systems. Again, if we do a radiant system, if we do all these things, it's really important to be able to try to have access to that in case there's ever a leak or anything else. So I kind of got to figure out what I want to do for ceiling. Whatever it is, will be something that we can remove. If it's paneling or whatever, we'll have to see. No big deal. And that's about it. So this is the house, obviously. Pretty much an idea of what it looks like as we are taking it over as we're starting it. Next couple weeks are going to be really big. Again, the idea is to have the house pretty livable by Christmas. Really want to spend Christmas here. Tomorrow, I'll get back on and we'll do a tour of the exterior. We're on 2/3 of an acre. So the main house and the garage that you'll see tomorrow is on 1/3. And then we have another 1/3 acre in the back with a garden, a greenhouse that needs a ton of work, like most of the things around here, but it's going to be awesome. We have a little bit of storage out there, and we have some RV parking. And then I'll talk to you about where tomorrow we're going to be putting in some fruit trees and some other long-term stuff. We're going to try to get those planted right away, even if we don't do the garden for another year or so until we get the house all situated. And then I'll also show you on the outside to increase our energy efficiency. The problem is that this exterior walls are all block, and what you'll notice, even though the heater's running, is that these walls they're cold. They're just cold. It's a direct heat sink all the way through. You've got direct transfer of the temperature all the way through. So in the bedroom where they tried to insulate the walls, that's great. It helps. But the real key is going to be insulating the outside. So hopefully by next winter, the goal would be to wrap the whole house in an insulating foam. Probably, an R7, R8. So it's not a lot, but it's going to help. And then side the house. And then that'll kind of make it a little bit more modern, but it'll also really increase the energy efficiency in this house. So the utilities aren't super expensive up here, but we want to do what we can. For me, it's a little bit of an experiment to see what all we can do. So anyway, I'm going to call it a night, try to get some of that carpet torn out, get a few other things done before I go to bed. And then in the morning, like I say, we'll do another quick video, add it onto this one, and we'll run through the outside, and I'll show you the garage, which the garage is what sold us on this house. Wait till you see it. It's incredible. Can't wait. All right. Good night. We'll finish this up tomorrow. Night.